about to be a magical presentation, I promise you. I promise you. Stay tuned. Peace, power, and prosperity to my beautiful family. I am ordained metaphysical minister Corbin reporting live. You are now tuned in to the Cosmic Christ University, the home of the esoteric and metaphysical knowledge. We are the keepers of the light, you and me. Before I get started, I want to give a very, very major shout out to the Marley family, Kimani Marley, Damian Marley. I want to thank you so much. Of course, I do not own the copyrights of this song, but still, my beautiful family, I am here to let you know that we are the keepers of the light. Now, this presentation, as you can see, is called Why You Suffer and How to Stop Your Suffering. I have a lot of family out there, my brothers and sisters in Christ, that are going through what they say depression, going through what they say is stress, anxiety. For some of you, you have a worry, you have a fear in life. I am a cosmic Christ being here at this time, at this important age, to remind my brothers and sisters that is you, that you are greater, that you are spiritually greater. I thank you for tuning in. It's just as simple as that. In this video, you're going to learn how to stop suffering. You're going to learn the origins of your suffering and why you suffer in the first place. Yes, I know you say you've been through these things and you go through anxiety, depression, worry. At nighttime when there's just you, the tears are there and there's nobody to understand or understand what you're going through. But there is and there always will be, and that's Christ. The Christ that is within you. That connection to the God that is truly you. I'm going to give you proof today, I promise you, of your greatness. Just listen. And for those who stay till the end of this video, I promise you, watch how better you feel. If you are already feeling good, you're going to feel greater. And if you're feeling greater now, I promise you, at the end, you're going to be feeling at your greatest. This is you getting your powers back. Are you ready? Once again, I am ordained metaphysical minister Corbin reporting live. You are now in tune to the Cosmic Christ University. This here is the home of the esoteric and metaphysical. Hit the like button if you love what you're hearing. Enroll into the Cosmic Christ University. I want you to tell a friend to tell a friend. But are you ready to understand who you are truly? Let's go. I know you're ready. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know you're ready. At 4 minutes going in, I know you're ready. That which every one of us is looking for in this world is exactly the same thing. Let me read that again. That which every one of us is looking for in this world is exactly the same thing. Every being, even the animals, are looking for it. And what is that we are all looking for? Happiness with no sorrow. Happiness with no sorrow. A continuous state of happiness with no taint, whatever or whatsoever or sorrow. A continuous state of happiness with no taint whatsoever of sorrow. Now, if this be the goal, why is this the goal? The reason why it is the goal is because unlimited happiness is our very basic nature. So my beautiful family who are just hearing these words for the first time, I want to repeat that. For those ones who feel like they're going through stress and depression, anxiety, worry, let me repeat this again. And I thank everybody else for tuning in. That which every one of us is looking for in this world is exactly the same thing. Every being, even the animals, are looking for it. And what is that we are looking for, you may ask? Well, happiness with no sorrow. A continuous state of happiness with no taint whatsoever of sorrow. Now, if this be the goal, why is this the goal? The reason why this is the goal is because unlimited happiness is our very basic nature. This is the real natural state before we encumbered it with limitations. That word, and you should already know to have a pen and pad when you watch the Cosmic Christ University. Let's read that again. This is the real natural state before we encumbered, and that is spelled E-N-C-U-M-B-E-R, encumbered. This is the real natural state before we encumbered it with limitations. Now, why is it that most of us do not have this continuous happiness with no sorrow? The answer? There's only one reason. Being this infinite being with infinite happiness, we do away with this joy, this happiness by saying, and I quote, I am an individual separate from the all. Now, I want to stop right here. I always like my brothers and sisters to sit back and think off what they hear and just go within. Now, if you're a religious person, you know Christ said, I am not a respecter of persons. If you look up the root word of persons, you see persona, which the word breaks down mask, characters, not being true to who you are. Now listen to this one more time, and I thank you for your patience. There's only one reason. Being this infinite being with infinite happiness, we do away with joy. This happiness by saying, I am an individual separate from the all. To make myself separate from the all, I must set up a means to accomplish this. The means is my mind that creates my body and the material world. Then I proceed creating more and more thoughts that create more and more matter until the thoughts and matter have me so bogged down and blinded that I have lost my real identity as the infinite beginningness that I am. Now, I have no problem reading that again, but what you are hearing, my brothers and sisters of Christ, my spiritual family, is you are hearing the true essence of what they call the fall, the first sin in religious theology. We were already beings, and we're talking about that divine soul within us. That's truly who we are. We were already beings in a perfect state. But going through years of happiness, the souls want to experience. And when you want to experience, that's going to take you on a path outside of God. Remember, God in its essence, the source, the great architect, is all good. All good. So once you separate and go your own path, you are experiencing things that are outside of God to a certain degree. But at the same time, everything is still coming from the source and creator. But through your ignorance, you were thinking that you were doing this. And because of that ignorance, you fall from grace. Now, I want to thank you for your patience. I want to lock you in there, but I want to read it again so I can make it all make sense. And thank you for your patience. Now, once again, let's read that again. There's only one reason. Being this infinite being with infinite happiness, we do away with this joy, this happiness by saying, and I quote, I am an individual. You are separating yourself from God now. Remember, you coming from God means you are from the all. Now, but when you go out there and say, I am an individual separate from the all, to make myself separate from the all, I must set up a means to accomplish this. The means is my mind, listen family, that creates my body and the material world. Then I proceed creating more and more thoughts that create more and more matter until the thoughts and matter have me so bogged down and blinded that I have lost my real identity as the infinite beginningness that I am. Think about the ancient philosophers that told you, as a man thinketh. Remember, Christ said, you are condemned or justified by your words. Think about the power of your thoughts. Let's keep on going. Thank you for your patience. Let's keep on going. The original thought of I am separate from the all necessarily creates a lack. Listen, family, we are going behind we are going beyond what the churches could give you. Respect to the churches, but there is a science to God. There is a laws and principles to God that you must know to elevate yourself more. The original thought of I am separate from the all necessarily creates a lack. Lack creates desire. Desire, therefore, cannot undo the lack, as lack is not there in the first place. Family, hit the like button at 10 minutes, and I want to thank you for your patience as I read this. Hit the like button if you understand this. You know I love to bring it back just to make sure it makes sense. So I thank you. The original thought, I am, we know by now, hopefully we know what I am that I am means. The true word of God. The original thought of I am separate from the all necessarily creates a lack. Lack creates desire. Desire, therefore, cannot undo the lack, as lack is not there in the first place. It is not real, but assumed. And we go on and on trying to satisfy desire, and we never succeed. If we could succeed, we would be able to satisfy desire, and therefore all desire will disappear, and then we would be desireless. Let me read that again, because this title is called Why You Suffer and How to Stop Suffering, is it not? I thank you for your patience, because the ones who are sitting back and tuning in with the patience and the love, you are understanding now, even when it's nighttime and you're by yourself and you're recapping and recalling this video. I want you to think about everything you have done, where your life and where your path have took you so far, and see where you have gotten yourself. And does these words and these teachings, do they line up where you at now and what you had to learn to get you where you at now? That's my biggest question to you, family. So I'm going to read this one more again, and then we're going to keep on carrying on. The original thought of I am separate from the all, separate from God, necessarily creates a lack. Lack creates desire. Desire, therefore, cannot undo the lack, as lack is not there in the first place. It is not real, but assumed. And we go on and on trying to satisfy desire, and we never succeed. If we could succeed, we would be able to satisfy desire, and therefore our desire would disappear, and then we would be desireless. The only real purpose of being here on this earth is to learn. Family, at 13 minutes, hit the like button if you're loving what you hear. Hit the like button if you are loving what you hear. Hit the like button if you are learning in here. Let's go again. The only real purpose of being here on this earth, let me say that once again, the only real purpose of being here on this earth is to learn, or to remember our original natural state of totality, of complete freedom and no limitation. Once we are led to see that this is our natural state, then we proceed to let go of all the limitations. The very first limitation is, and I quote, I am an individual separated from the all. Quote, end quote. Eliminate that, and you eliminate all limitation, all trouble, all sickness, all poverty. 14 minutes. I just want to stop. I want to see where my family is right now. I want to thank you for tuning in to the minister. Why you suffer? Because you entertain things that you have no business entertaining. And since once you focus something, you automatically are locked into it. These things that don't serve a purpose to you now become a part of you, distracting and extracting you away from who you are, which is a true God being. So imagine if you're not worrying about the stress, you're not worrying about the bills, you're not worrying about this person loving you or this person treating you. How do you treat yourself? How do you love yourself? How are you evaluating yourself? Or better question, how are you valuing yourself? So I want to read this part again. I think for some of us out there, a lot of us actually, You're getting it. You're getting it. And since I know you're getting it, I don't mind reading it again. I don't mind going over it again because this is very important. A lot of you have been putting so much weight on your shoulders. You've been carrying so much of this weight thinking that you are supposed to, not knowing the true meaning of letting go and let God. Just like some of you who have little young babies and your baby don't got to worry about nothing. Wow, should it? It's a baby. Its job is to be nurtured and grow step by step by loving parents. That's God. If we are children of God, family, why are we worrying about things in this outside world? Why are we giving attention to things that doesn't serve God, which really is our inner world? You get what I'm saying here? Once you entertain things that are not of you in your world, then your world is going to give attention to that thing. I'm going to read this again. And I think the ones who are really understanding what I'm saying, because if you do, this is you getting your power back. This is you, baby, to release a lot. Let it go. God is always, you are God. You are co-creators of God, but you'll never know that entertaining outside things. Let me read this one more time. The only real purpose, my beautiful family, the only real purpose of being here on this earth is to learn or to remember our original natural state of totality, of complete freedom and no limitation. Once we are led to see that this is our natural state, then we proceed to let go of all the limitations. The very first limitation is, and I quote, I am an individual separated from the all. End quote. Eliminate that, and you eliminate all limitation, all trouble, all sickness, all poverty. At 17 minutes, if you understood that, hit the like button, leave a comment if this is helping you out. Oh man, hold up now. The jewelry just sped the process up a little bit. Thank you for your patience. We're right back at it. Let's see where we're at here. We didn't go too far off. Thank you for your patience. To say this in another way is to say, and I quote, God is all. Let go and let God be. Simple as that. That's what I learned. That's what, as simple as that. For you who say you are going through fear, what are you fearing? Why are you fearing this? For you stressing, what are you stressing? Fall back. Evaluate. Is it worth stressing? Is it adding or taking away from your life? That's how you should look at everything. No matter who it is, what it is it adding value or is it taking value away? When you line up and align yourself with God, what are you questioning? God is all. God is good. God is the first cause. Once you separate yourself from God, remember, the mind. If it's not aligned with God, then you got elements. You have zodiacs. You have spirits that are ready to take that mind over if you're not. Let me read that again. Bling, bling. To say this in another way is to say, and I quote, God is all. Let go and let God be. It is not I, but the Father who worketh through me. End quote. We must let go of this ego sense, which is the original sense of separation from the all, and allow our natural being just to be. And then everything would fall perfectly into line. My family, I know it sounds simple. Trust me, I know. But God is what it is. And that's it. Stop trying to put a face, put a name on God. God is always ising. God is an isness, a verbum. Action, moving. God is always ising. You have been putting limitations on yourself, family. And you have been allowing people who put limitations on themselves to put limitations on you. The churches, you have to understand this. They gave you what they could tell you exoterically, but esoterically, there is another world to you. Not the external world, my beautiful family, but the internal world. All things start from the within. You are the living word, family. This is why you must understand this. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you're spiritual. Both of you, I don't care if you're going through one door. I don't care if you're going through the other door, religious and spiritual. Both doors, when you exit, are going to lead to God. Both doors. So instead of arguing with each other, religious folks and spiritual family, in the age of Aquarius, it's so important that we come together in this age where the divine feminine energy is abundant as well as it's supposed to be. To say this in another way is to say, God is all. Let go and let God be. It is not I, but the Father who worked through me. We must let go of the ego sense, which is the original sense of separation from the all, and allow our natural being just to be. And then everything would fall perfectly into line. Let's keep on going. This is all very, very simple. If you want complexity, you'll never see simplicity. Let's read that again. This is all very, very simple. If you want complexity, you'll never see simplicity. I'm going to read that one more time. This is all very, very simple, my family. If you want complexity, you'll never see simplicity. Once this is accepted as the overall way, however, we do not find it easy of accomplishment. We do not find it easy because of past habits that have been established over thousands and thousands of years. It's not going to be easy for those black sheeps in the family. Nobody said it easy. For those who are discovering their God and goddesses energy, nobody said it's going to be a peachy thing, knowing and rediscovering and reawakening to your divineness and to your divinity. No one said it's going to be easy. Who said that? And if they did say it, they was capping from the beginning. This is a true initiation to enter the Godhood, the Christhood, the divine feminine, divine masculine, total balance of the both, understanding the mission of Mary Magdalene and the mission of Yeshua, and our continuous mission to bring the two together. Once again, this is all very, very simple. If you want complexity, you'll never see simplicity. Once this is accepted as the overall way, however, we do not find it easy of accomplishment. We do not find it easy because of past habits that have been established over thousands and thousands of years. Think about that, family. And for some silly reason, we subconsciously like these past habits of trouble, and so we continue them. We do it in a manner that we refuse to look at. We call it subconscious behavior, and we go on and on and on, repeating all this behavior of limitation, automatically calling it subconscious. Now, the subconscious mind, only that part of the mind that we refuse to look at. Once again, now the subconscious mind is only that part of the mind that we refuse to look at when our desire is strong enough. We will dig up these subconscious habits and begin to let them go. And I want to read that one more time in its entirety. Now, the subconscious mind is only the part of the mind that we refuse to look at. When our desire is strong enough, we will dig up these subconscious habits and begin to let them go. There is no growing into the natural being that we are. That being is whole and perfect here and now. There is only letting go of concepts to the contrary that we have troubles. Once again, there is no growing into the natural being that we are. That being is whole and perfect. You are already whole and perfect. Are you understanding this? People going out there saying, ain't nobody perfect. Who said that? A lot of people, right? Listen, you are a soul. You are beyond this flesh. And because of that, I'm going to read this again. There is no growing into the natural being that we are. That being is whole and perfect here and now. There is only letting go of concepts to the contrary that we have troubles, that we have limitations. Anyone who says, and I quote, I have trouble, end quote, has it in his mind. That's the only place where it is because you can't see anything anywhere else but in your mind. Hit the like button if you. I don't even want to repeat it. You can rewind this back. Let's keep on going. Whatever you look at, whatever you hear, whatever you sense is through your mind. That's where everything is. Change your mind. Let's go back up. Change your mind. Everything out there changes. Let's bring that back again. Change your mind, family watching. Change your mind, and everything out there changes. Church people, if you're watching, Romans 12, one of my favorite scriptures, says what? Romans 12:2 says what? Exactly. Let's keep on going. Change your thinkingness, and you change the world for you. Do this, and you have the proof. This is a metaphysical do-do. A must do. I want you watching to sit back from the moment you think about this, from the moment you wake up. Think about this, family watching right now. From the moment you wake up, what are you doing? Are you grabbing your phone? Are you waking up and thinking about last night or yesterday's worries? Are you waking up arguing? Think about this, because how you wake up and how you lay down sets the tone throughout your day, throughout your month, throughout your year. Now think, if you're a person out there who's always thinking about sickness, who's always thinking about poverty, who's always thinking about stress, you're going to get what you're feeding your mind. And your mind is going to feed you the things that you are not powerful enough to know that it's bad fish, good fish. It's simple as that. That means bad thought, good thought. Thoughts are going to come in your mind like a river, but which ones are you catching? The good ones? Or are you catching the bad ones? Now, if you catch the bad ones and you hold on to the bad ones, them bad ones are going to pollute. They're going to dilute your mind. You need to throw them back. Get the good fish, because the good fish is going to bring prosperity, great health, happiness. 28 minutes. So y'all with me out there? This is class. This is class. Sometimes class is exciting. Sometimes class is boring. But if you are in tune to class, neither one of those matter, because you are learning something regardless. And for those who are learning something regardless, thank you. So the path is simple. The method of undoing the limitations is not easy because of habit. Think about this. Think about how many habits you have, how many habits, good or bad, you have throughout the day. Let me read that again. So the path is simple. The method of undoing the limitations is not easy because of habit. We need a very strong desire to begin to let go of these wrong habits from the past. Without that strong desire, there is no growth. This desire must be stronger than the desire to possess and control this world. The world as now seen really is a fiction when you see the truth. Let's read that again. Let's read that again. This desire must be stronger than the desire to possess and control this world. The world as now seen really is a fiction when you see the truth. It turns out to be a dream. First you'll see it as a dream, then you'll see it as a dream that never was. It is exactly as happens in a night dream. While you're in the night dream, you have a body. There are other bodies. There's action, interaction, There's good and there's bad. And so long as you remain in that night dream, everything there is real to you. When you awaken from the night dream, you say, and I quote, "My gosh, it was just a dream. It never happened." End quote. This dream was all in me. And exactly in the same manner you awaken from this dream called the waking state, you come to see that it was only a fiction of your imagination. It was only a dream, and then you let go of it. You let go of it lock, stock, and barreled, and what is left over is the infinite you. Then you call yourself fully realized, totally free, and this is what's going to happen at the end. There has been too many movies. What's the one movie? They Alive. The Matrix. I was just talking about one of my 1970s movies that I would love to see a remake of called Logan's Run. Hit the like button if you ever seen Logan's Run. And if you haven't seen Logan's Run, YouTube it. But the longer you live, you are starting to see that this world is an illusion. Some of you who may thought you were at the bottom growing up, you are winning. That was on your accord. That was because you knew that you weren't going to be limited to the situation where were you at that time. Now look at you. You winning. And for the ones who are not winning, it's because you are still having limitations in your life. You are still putting blockages in your life. I promise you, at the end of the day, there is nobody you can blame for your mistakes, your mishaps. None of it except yourself. That's the realization and the revelation of God. That once you strip all this illusion that you call the real world, once you strip it away, it's just you and God, the God that resides within you. And once you realize that, that is a wonderful, sometimes painful, tearful, joyful, glamorous, ritual type of feeling because it's all you. Once you strip all this away right now, take it all away, it's just you and God, the God that's within you. You want to make it in this life? Do what you want to do and put no restrictions on it. You can make it with love, but you first have to have a love for yourself before you go out there and look for a love for somebody else. This is very important. You must be comfortable in your own skin to know the divine within before you go out and looking for somebody to validate and tell you your own worth. This is so important, family. This is so important. Let's keep on reading. I might stop at 45 minutes. I want to hit the like button if you're loving this. This is class. You, me, we're spiritual beings that are in this flesh. A lot of things have been kept from us. So you forgot that you were spiritual beings. That's why you have the tears. That's why you're going through this stressful time. This is initiation. And if you can overcome this while still having a faith and then graduating to a knowing of God, I promise you, I am living proof. The powers that come with that are God-given. Do not give up on yourself out there, family. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your family says about you. I don't care who's talking about you. You shouldn't be entertained by that in the first place. God is within you. Over 2,150 years ago, my brother and your brother Christ told you. He was trying to tell you. But think about this before I'm going to give you some more, but I want you to think about this. 2,150 years ago, think about where their conscience was. This is after a great people have fell from Atlantis and Lemuria. Their consciousness was at a low vibrating state when Christ came. His job was to wake them back up into the realization of who they were. The words and the bars that he was spitting to them at the time was going over most of their heads. So he had to use words like Father instead of mine, and wisdom instead of the divine feminine. The people couldn't understand at the time, most of them, what he was talking about. But we can. We have the technology, the spirituality, and the unity of each other, the love, no matter what color you are. We have the power now. We are the ones that were in the Bible. We are our ancestors. This is the reason why there are so many people alive at this time. The ancestors are back and they're ready to see this hell of a show that is about to start. And we're the main stars. All right, fam, let's wrap this up. This is class. I'm going to keep you guys too long. I want to think about knowing you are greater. Okay. Thank you for your patience throughout the whole video. Let's read this. I'm going to go start from here, then we'll see where it ends. But we're going to probably stop at about maybe 45 minutes. So, the path is simple. The method of undoing the limitations is not easy because of habit. We need a very strong desire to begin to let go of these wrong habits from the past. Without that strong desire, there is no growth. This desire must be stronger than a desire to possess and control the world. The world as now seen really is fiction, when you see the truth. It turns out to be a dream. First, you'll see it as a dream. Then you'll see it as a dream that never was. It is exactly as it happens in a night dream. While you're in the night dream, you have a body. There are other bodies. There's action, interaction. There's good and there's bad. And so as long as you remain in your night dream, everything there is real to you. When you awaken from that night dream, you say, my gosh, it was just a dream. It never happened. This dream was all in me. And exactly in the same manner you awaken from a dream, called the waking state, you come to see that it was only a fiction of your imagination. And it was only a dream. And then you let go of lock, stock, and barrel, and what is left over is the infinite you. Then you call yourself fully realized, totally free. We are actually fully realized all the time. We are fully realized beings saying that we are not. This is the tragic comedy of who we are. The ancient ones call this a tragic comedy because you are gods and goddesses, but because you are so asleep, you have no idea and totally forgot that you are gods and goddesses. Let me say this again. You are all gods and goddesses. Even the Bible told you that. But you have been asleep in this mental, material world. And I say mental because with our mind and with your mind, you have been thinking this is actually all that there is in this physical world. You have been living in this physical world, trapped, a prisoner, a slave, bound, trapped. Let's read that again. We are actually fully realized all the time. We are fully realized beings saying that we are not. So all we do is let go of, and I quote, we are not. And what's left over is the fully realized being that we are. Bars. Hit the like button if you think that was bars. Let's read that again and let me know what you think. Is this bars? We are actually fully realized all the time. We are fully realized beings saying that we are not. So all we do is let go. So all we do is let go of the we are not. And what's left over is the fully realized being that we are. Are there any questions on what I said so far? No. Then everyone understands this, at least intellectually. Let's get ready to finish up, and I thank you for your patience. Remember, I'm a cosmic Christ being. You are cosmic Christ beings. I need you to stop saying that you are human beings. There is beyond proof that we are multi-dimensional beings, beings that transcend the third dimensional realms. We are in the fourth density, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension. Come join us. Come join us. For anybody who is still in the third dimension, come join us. I'll see you there. I love you. Let's end right here. All right. If you understand it intellectually and you are not able to use it, it is because you are not looking at yourself. Honestly, truthfully, with deep desire to see yourself in the process of which you have set up as a subconscious mind, all the things you will not look at, however. It's not necessary to dig up this unconscious mind. In fact, it's much better to try to quiet the mind. When we are able to get the mind totally quiet, what's left over the infinite self? Let's read that again. It's a totality. In fact, it's much better to try to quiet the mind. When we're able to get the mind totally quiet, what's left over is the infinite self. Every thought is a thing of limitation. Let's read that again. Every thought is a thing of limitation. Therefore, when we quiet the mind, we still these limiting thoughts, and this infinite being that we are becomes self-obvious to us. My gosh, my gosh. The self is then not occluded by the limiting thoughts. We see it. We recognize that we never were that mind, that body. And from that moment on, the mind and body have no influence upon us. We determine for the body as we would a puppet, and it has no effect upon us. And I want to stop here. I'm going to give you a little bit more, but I'm going to stop right here. So, you have to understand that you, at this current moment, by thinking you are sick, by thinking you have a cold, by thinking that you are broke and that you have anxiety and cancer, your mind is pimping you. You are a prostitute for your mind. Do you understand me saying that way? Does that make sense for you? You are being pimped. Now, the thing about this is, because you are a co-creator and children of God, you're supposed to be pimping your mind. You're supposed to be pimping, but you're not. There are elementals, invisible beings that govern your mind because you won't step up and do it. You are being pimped by your mind, thinking that you're doing something out here. Let me read this again right quick, and then we're going to end it right here on about 46, 47. Thank you for your time. Let's read that again. Every thought is a thing of limitation. Therefore, when we quiet the mind, remember what it says in your Bibles. Your Bible says what? Be still and know that I am God. Be still. Go within your secret closet. It's all saying the same thing no matter what religion you love and worship and give praise to. Let's read that again. Every thought is a thing of limitation. Therefore, when we quiet the mind, we still these limiting thoughts. Every thought is a thing of limitation. Therefore, when we quiet the mind, we still these limiting thoughts, and this infinite being that we are becomes self-obvious to us. The self is then not occluded by the limiting thoughts. We see it. We recognize that we never were that mind, that body, and from that moment on, the mind and body have no influence upon us. We determine for the body as we would a puppet, and it has no effect upon us. As a puppet that we would be controlling would have no effect upon us. So the very best method of all methods is to quiet the mind, family. To see the being that you are. Pose the question, who am I? Quote, end quote. Pose the question to yourself, family. Who am I? And if other thoughts come in, ask, to whom are these thoughts? The answer is, to me. Well, who am I? And you're back on the track seeking to see yourself. And I quote, who am I, end quote, is the final question that everyone answers. So why not begin with the final question? If you can, all good, all wonderful. But there are very few of us who are capable of using this method of just holding on to who am I and rejecting all other thoughts that come in. We have gotten ourselves so involved with thoughts that we cannot let go of them, and therefore we need other methods other aids. And I'm going to stop right there. 45. You are Christ's beings. We are not of this world, even though we are in this world. We are here now, guys. We are in the fourth density. We are in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th dimensions. My family, you have made it. Come join me at the Cosmic Christ University. Enroll. Tell a friend to tune in. I am ordained metaphysical minister, sent here to let you know that you are Christ consciousness beings. Wake up and receive your power. I love you all.